Hello, virtual CEOs. Welcome back to my channel. It is so exciting to be back doing YouTube. It is the top of the year, and so y'all know what that means. New year, new me, new goals, new adventures, new journeys, new businesses, new fitness journeys, renewed spiritual health, and also it's tax season. So for this video, I wanted to do something very different, something that I've never done before. We're going to pull back the curtains behind my business. I'm going to talk about how much money that I made in 2024, all my streams of income, what I'm going to be keeping and what I'm going to be getting rid of in 2025, and how I'm going to move forward in entrepreneurship. So if any of that interests you, make sure that you stay tuned for the video. At the end, I'm going to also talk about some of the things that I've learned, the 4 key things that I've learned through entrepreneurship by looking at the numbers. I know y'all heard it said before, the devil's in the details. We're not going there. But the evidence is definitely in the details. So what you've been doing on your business, what you can improve in, is always going to be in your analytics. So I know that I can do better with looking at my numbers, seeing how I can improve. But one thing that I will say, that I did just switch over from my previous platform that I was running my business on, and I went over to Go High Level. So Go High Level is going to allow me to have a system that's going to tell me, the monetary health of my business, how much money I'm bringing in versus how much is coming out, based on my payroll and what I pay my contractors, the people who help me keep this business afloat. So nonetheless, we're just going to jump into it, and we're going to get started with my lowest stream of income for 2024. So my lowest stream of income for 2024, I made $1,259.80. So that was with one of my business. Depending on how many of my videos that you've watched of me, then you know that I started entrepreneurship with physical products. My very first business that I started on paper was a hair business. I don't want to bore y'all too much with the details. However, I will say that at the beginning of 2024, listen, I had crazy ambition on my content goals, on how I was going to move forward with business. But nonetheless, I had started posting on my hair page again, and I ended up getting 2 orders that totaled up to what I said, $1,259.80. So that was from 2 orders alone, and that was my lower stream of income. Well, actually, let me take that back. I guess my lower stream of income would have been TikTok. I am monetized on TikTok. I've been in the creator program for like 3 years now. You know how people can gift you on live. I don't know what that income is, but I know that it's less than $200. So as I was creating this video, like literally just now, I just thought about that. So I guess we can add that to there. I mean, it doesn't really make or break this video. So when it comes to content monetization, I don't know what exactly that number is, so please don't quote me on that. So moving right along to my next biggest stream of income, and that was going to be my apparel brand. I used to sell a lot of hoodies, t-shirts, joggers. My sister and I, we got rid of a lot of inventory before I made my big move, across seas. For y'all, those of y'all who don't know, I don't even live in America any longer. And so I was trying to offload and get rid of a lot of inventory prior to me moving, but we still had a lot of things that were still in storage. And my sister, we were co-owners in 2 of my businesses that I had. And so she was like, hey, while you're there, I'll still be moving product. And with that being said, when I went back home, um, actually, I can't remember how many times I went back home, but I believe 2 of the times, at bare minimum, 2 of the times where I went back home, I was able to offload a lot of inventory. So my apparel brand, my urban, my streetwear apparel brand, it made $10,738.82 according to my PayPal. Okay, and so that was a nice chunk of money, especially for a business that I don't even really run like that anymore. And so it's always nice to be able to offload inventory whenever you're closing up a particular business. Obviously, I wasn't telling people that, oh, I'm closing this business, because I didn't want people to not buy the clothing, because they're like, oh, why would I buy clothing from a business that's shutting down? People from my city knew me for entrepreneurship. And so whenever I go back, people are like, oh, do you still have this? Do you still have that? And also, I end up setting up at an event when I was able to offload a lot of inventory. So that's always great. And speaking of that, I think that that was a great point, right? Whenever I moved out of the country, I had intentions on being able to still run some of my businesses remotely, right? And I thought that me moving here would help with certain businesses, especially when it comes to my beauty business. I thought that, I would be doing a lot more content. My business would 10x by me moving, but actually it hindered it. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, so I'm going to save that for later. But let's go to my next biggest stream of income. So at the top of the year, y'all, my entrepreneurship journey is just like, wow. Maybe I'll sit down and I'll do a video. If y'all want me to do that video, I will go business by business, frame by frame, month by month, year by year, and explain to y'all my entrepreneurship journey. My entrepreneurship journey is similar to a lot of other people. We start a lot of businesses. We pivot to other business model. That's what entrepreneurship is about. It's knowing when to pivot and knowing when to persevere. Okay, so totally different industry. In 2024, I was wrapping up like the tail end of my business, and one of my clients from my trucking business um ended up having to pay me the rest of the invoices. And so in 2024, I made $53,783.95 from my trucking business. And I know you're probably like, what, a trucking business? Listen, I mean, what can I say? 2023, the bulk of entrepreneurship in 2023 for me was the trucking business. And also, I will say a little bit of, was it all the trucking business? And so, like I said, a lot of that carried on over into January of 2024. So technically, that income counts towards my 2024 taxes. And so, yeah, I made a nice piece of change from that business. And then my very last business is going to be my coaching business. If you watch my videos before, then you know that I coach entrepreneurs on how to launch, scale, automate, and market their online coaching business, how to close more deals. And so with that business, I made $62,216. Okay. So that was the bulk of my entrepreneurship journey. So now we're going to go into the lessons that I've learned from, looking at my taxes, looking at my numbers, and understanding what's really going on in my business. Number one of the first things that I would advise before you start anything, right? Before you start anything, consult God about your business. I talked about this before in previous videos, but I'm going to talk about it again just in case you've never heard it before. And sometimes we need to hear things multiple times, anyways. I used to start businesses and ask God to, bless it afterwards. Now I tell people to really make sure that this is what you're doing and this is what you're called to do. I look at this and I understand that a lot of it is part of my entrepreneurship journey. This is how I have so much knowledge and I've built so many skill sets because I built out so many different businesses in so many different industries. And so I have a great skill set, a lot of transferable skills that I can use into my coaching business. And I know that it's not by happenstance that all of this happened, but I know that I could have been a lot more successful if I had extreme focus in one business. But when you spread yourself so thin, you're only giving your business a little bit of you, right? A little bit of you. And then it's not even the manual work that makes it so bad, right? Because in my mind, I could justify how I could do everything, but it's the mind, the brain capacity that it takes to be able to be the visionary of, multiple businesses that have different niches, different target audience, that have different needs. And what I found was whatever I focus on, that is what grew. So if I'm only focused on the apparel brand right now because I'm in America, then that means that I wasn't making more content for my coaching business because I'm trying to, okay, maximize on me being present in America and trying to offload these things. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and do what I need to do with this for the time being. And then, I try to do my coaching afterwards. And the reality of it is I end up pushing the coaching on the back burner, right? And so when your priorities are constantly shifting and changing depending on which business that you're trying to grow, because you're trying to grow too many businesses at the same time, I'm telling you, it would lead to entrepreneur burnout. It would lead to having spread attention is just not feasible. You're giving everything the minimal effort, and you have to grow a business with extreme focus. I think that is what I was trying to say. I got into the rabbit hole of listening to a bunch of podcasts and people talking about, millionaires have 7 streams of income. And I get that. I understand that. But if you're starting off, if you haven't made $1 million with one business, there's no reason why you should be starting another business. But nobody told me that. I was just winging it when I got into entrepreneurship. Once again, told you I started with the hair brand. Then the second business was women's apparel. And then I ended up going off into men's apparel, or not men's apparel, more so unisex, but it was like urban wear. It was hoodies, t-shirts, joggers, right? And then the very last thing, I grew an interest in doing makeup. I was like, oh, wow, let's do this too. And my whole thought process behind it is I wanted to have a store that encompassed every single one of my businesses, right? And so I wanted to monopolize the market, if you will. I wanted you to be able to come into my store, and we host a variety of brands. And of course, I thought that it was going to make sense. Listen, it's like, who gets paid more? The doctor who's a general practitioner, or the specialist? It's always going to be the specialist. And so I went in with the general approach because I was trying to capture all audiences instead of just focus on God. Who do you have me here to serve? Right? Which business should I start? Had I asked God those questions when getting started into entrepreneurship, it would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy, a lot of, leg work, and I could have put my primary focus in one business. And so I did a lot of business mediocrely, if I'm being honest, when I could have just put all that focus into one business, and I could have made 7 figures by now if I had extreme focus. But since I didn't have the mentor to tell me these things, this is why I create content, so that you can learn from my mistakes, right? And so the overall arching thing is you can do anything. You just can't do everything. And I was trying to do everything. I did hire out for a lot of things, so that was great. And I wrote in 2 of the learning lessons together. Number 1, you can do anything, just not everything. Number 2, only start something that you absolutely love. I had no business making a makeup business. When I did that makeup business, my thing was, oh, all I got to do is get the inventory, do the marketing, because I loved makeup at that point in time. Now I'm not really a makeup girly how I used to be back then. But I could do my own face, but I wasn't like a makeup artist, okay? I made a whole business off of something that I loved for just like a short period of my life. Like I wasn't like in love with it, if you will. And I feel like, not I feel like, I know, if you want to have a successful business, you should really love that thing, because it's easier for you to show up. It was hard for me to show up in my makeup business because while I love to look good, while I love to do my own makeup, I wasn't passionate about it. Like I wasn't trying to figure out the new products. I wasn't trying to figure out the new makeup influencer. Let me go to this makeup event. No, that was not me. I like to put it on. I like to do it. I would make a couple of videos, but I didn't have that burning passion like I did with my other businesses. When people come to me about entrepreneurship and they're thinking about starting it, my question to them is, why? Why are you doing this? Is it because you seen your favorite influencer making this business and you see that they're making a lot of money and you're thinking, hey, if I follow suit in this business model, I'm going to make a lot of money too? Or is it, I know that I'm called to do this? These are 2 different type of people, right? I'm following the trend, you're not going to get anywhere. I'm just sorry. Like, you're going to make a little bit of noise, but if you don't have that burning passion, that conviction behind what you're selling, that translate on camera, and you won't show up when the time gets tough, because entrepreneurship will get tough. It do be like, we can go jump in tech and make six figures and then don't have to do it. But I know that I would be evading my purpose, right? I know that there would be, I know that I would still in the back of my mind, I'd be like, I know what it is that I'm called to do. And so to me, it would be a distraction. It would be a disservice from the community of people that I'm meant to serve if I go do something else. So if you don't have that inner conviction to keep going when time gets tough, I'm telling you, you will find something to, distract you. And now you off to the next business model, right? And sometimes you're in discovery phase. So I'm not condemning you if you are in discovery phase, trying to figure out what you're passionate about. I just don't think that it's smart for you to put tens of thousands of dollars into a business that you just kind of thinking about, because that's what I was doing. I was putting so much money into businesses that, like I said, for the makeup business, I like to do it, but I just wasn't passionate about it. And I don't want that for you. I also had mentioned this verse too as well. My third point was to seek God first. Seek God first. I cannot reiterate that enough. Seek God first. I always aim towards faith-based entrepreneurs because, first of all, I don't know how people do a job without God, because it's just so many things that I feel like I need him for. Now I feel like I know that I need him for. And it's like, how are y'all doing business without the Lord? Like, how are y'all doing business without God? Y'all are built different. People who just, y'all just a different type of breed. I can't relate, because it's just like, I had to go consult my Father in heaven. He's, omnipresent, omniscient. I gotta go see what he's talking about, right? I still find myself asking my sister or my mom for business advice, but I know that they really don't have, they can give me um their their advice, right? But they really don't know as well as my Father in heaven know. Like, he knows everything, right? And so, yeah, seek God first. Once again, entrepreneurship does have its tough times. And if you don't have that conviction, if you don't know that it's a calling on your life, if you don't know that this is your purpose, you will quit when the time gets hard. I've seen it time and time again. As I look at the numbers for my business, it's a lot of things that I noticed. I made, what is it, less than $1,300 from one business, another 10,000 from another. But when it comes to the apparel business and the beauty business or the hair business, what have you, I know we was breaking down the numbers a little bit, and I was telling you the income that I got in all my separate ventures. So I do want to dive into the numbers a little bit more with my coaching business. I wish I would have broke everything down by which program sold more, but like how much I made high ticket, mid ticket, low ticket. I should stop and do those numbers and come back. But let's be honest, I don't feel like doing all that. But nonetheless, I can still give you the overarching thing and just tell you what I'm going to be doing different in regards to my coaching business and how I'm going to be moving forward and how I'm going to shift in 2025. And so I had my low ticket as well as my high ticket. And it was something that I noticed that was going on with my business, okay? Editing Chrisadia here. As I was editing, I realized that I didn't properly articulate the message that I was trying to convey in regards to me dissecting my coaching program and seeing what was working, what the data was telling me in regards to my low ticket program versus my mid ticket versus having a high ticket. So if you want me to make a thorough video or where I dissect specifically my coaching business alone, then let me know down in the comments and I'll make a whole separate video spelling everything out so y'all can see how I've came to the conclusion that I came to in regards to how I'm moving in 2025 with my coaching business now that I'm doubling down on that. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. And so with all of that said, when it get close to the year, right, of course, at the top of the year, you set all these goals for yourself. And then when it get close to the year, I'm like, I didn't achieve what I thought that I was going to achieve this year in regards to my business. But if you look at the numbers, I'm all over the place. I have to coach myself. I have to be honest with myself. And mentally, it's taking up so much brain power. People don't realize that most of the business is done in your mind. Okay. When I say in the mind, in your mind, I mean like you being the visionary, you thinking over strategy, you having those intimate conversations with God, right? And you're strategizing, and He's trying to send you this way, but you're like, okay, but what should I do about this thing, and you're pulling yourself in so many directions instead of going in super duper laser focus. Which one is going to be better? If you go in with a AK-47 and you just like you just spray and pray, or if you go in like a sniper and you take them out with one shot. That's the same way that your business should be. Get laser focused. You don't want to just be praying and spraying. And that is how I was running my business in 2024, not just 2024, other years as well. Now, I will say that, to be honest, I wasn't really promoting the other businesses. I wasn't like actively marketing these businesses or even talking about it. But mentally, it was still taking up a lot of space. And then it had just got to the point where when it came to my makeup business, I just had to say, you know what, Lord, I'm just going to throw away all this stuff, like even all of the paraphernalia. I don't even want to look at this stuff. Even though it was a lot of things that I could have sold, I just like, let me just throw this away. And I was speaking with someone, and it was like, hey, you know what? You don't have to, because I still had like lashes and stuff. They was like, you don't got to throw that away. I can actually use that for my nonprofit. I'll offload a lot of this stuff at an event that I have upcoming. So they gave me a certain amount that they would be willing to spend or buy in bulk. And so I had told God, I'm like, you know what, God, I'm just gonna throw all this stuff away. I'm just gonna double down, triple down on what it is that you told me to do, and then that's just going to be it. But the opportunity presented itself. I said, you know what, God, you just really, you just really just take care of me. And in that moment, I realized that maybe this was just like a test, like an obedience test. Okay. Are you willing to cut off something when I tell you to cut off something? Or are you just going to hold on to it? And guess what? I'm like, okay, you know what, Lord? I'm just going to double down, triple down on what it is that you told me. I'm just going to throw it away. He said, hold on, hold on, hold on. Now that I see that you are willing to throw it away, actually, I'm going to send, this person who's going to present you this offer. And I'm such a gracious God that I'm going to allow you to close up this business without having to throw away inventory so you can finish off this business and be done with it. Okay. And I literally just made a video on my blog channel. I know that y'all don't know my blog channel. Um, it's totally separate, but I was filming me packaging up everything for, this particular event. And it's just like, wow, we just have such a great Father in heaven. And this is what I mean. I don't understand how people do business without God, because I know that was only God sent, right? And so, kudos to y'all if y'all can run a business without the Lord. But that's for me and my business. We gonna do it with God. Period. Point blank. Period. But nonetheless, I just want to have a lean business. I just want everything to be so simple. Anything that complicates my life, I just don't want no parts in it. I just want everything to be stupid simple. Keep it stupid simple. Okay? Keep it stupid simple. I hope that y'all were able to get something that y'all can take and implement this into your business. Look at the things that you are overcomplicating. Even when it comes to me showing up, I want to show up more frequently. And I couldn't last year because I'm still mentally trying to strategize on how I'm going to, do this and do that and do this. And it's just like, please make it stupid simple. Whatever it is that's holding you back from scaling your business. I know that one of the reasons why I didn't hit my financial goals, yes, I didn't do too bad. God still provided. I'm good. God still provided, right? Like, I'm not without anything. But the reason why I didn't go into my promised land is because I'm allowing, where we at? $1,300 keeping me from X amount that I could have had, or $10,000 that could have been an extra 100,000 had I had just extreme focus. And so that's where I want to get to, is just to the point where I just have extreme focus on what it is that God has for me, and stop having shiny object syndrome. Some of y'all have shiny object syndrome as well. So we just have to, double down on what it is that God has told us to do. Stay focused, stay the course. And then, so this is the bonus thing that I wanted to talk about. This lesson that I learned in 2024. about business has nothing to do with me looking at my numbers. I just want to say shout out to me, pat myself on the back. I have been waiting to tell y'all this, but I could not announce it. But this morning, 7 o'clock in the morning to be exact, I got an email from a production company here who I had signed up to be a speaker. And so I pitched them for a speaking event. Well, actually, my publicist came to me with it, but I did have to send in my speaking pitch and, tell them who I am, what my business do. And they came and they interviewed me. Why am I telling you all this? Number one, I got a speaking engagement coming up. I'm about to add international speaker to my bio. No, just kidding. But no, seriously. So during this process, before the actual speaking engagement, they sent someone to come interview me. Y'all, I was stressing about this thing because sometimes when I'm making YouTube videos, I don't say everything, so eloquently. I stumble over my words a little bit. And the night before I was to have my interview with the lady, in regards to the speaking interview, I started to just cancel. I'm like, let's just cancel, because they had pre-sent me the questions, but I didn't look over everything. And so we met up. I'm like, Lord, please, Lord, please, like, help me with this speaking engagement, or help me with this interview, rather, not the speaking engagement. The speaking engagement hasn't happened yet. I say all this to say the interviewer asked me a particular question. When I tell you the spirit was moving, I was shocked at some of the answers that was coming out of my own mouth. I said, hold on, wait, Lord. Not me really having a gift to gab. Hmm. I really am who I think I am. No, seriously. Um, but she had asked me a question. I can't even remember what the question was. Let me try to think. I think she said, "What is one big lesson that you learned from entrepreneurship?" I can't remember what the question was. I know if I go through my email, dude, y'all, this is my trap phone. I know if I go through my email, I think the questions are there. But I don't know if my mailbox is set up here, because I kind of really, no, that email isn't on that phone. I really wanted to give y'all what the real question was. I was going to go through and try to figure out which question was I answering when I gave this answer. So, whatever the question she asked, I don't know. But I remember saying something so profound. And I know that it was the spirit revealing something about me to myself as I was speaking it out loud. You get what I mean? Like, I was getting a revelation about myself through the spirit, because he was speaking through me. And as I'm listening, I'm like, wow, thank you, Holy Spirit. The number one lesson that I want you to get out of this is, do not make your business an idol. Okay. I told y'all in 2023, most of my entrepreneurship was spent doing logistics. When I got into this, the opportunity fell into my lap. Okay. This is what favor looks like, when opportunities that you weren't even seeking fall into your lap. The opportunity fell into my lap to get into logistics. And when I was presented the opportunity, it really sounded too good to be true. I'm like, huh? What in the world? But yeah, it was true. It was very good and it was very true. And if I tell y'all how much money I made in a month, or how much money I made in 2 weeks, or just a day, the money was flowing. The money was flowing. Why am I telling you this? Because it has to do with why I say don't make a business your idol. Where I am now spiritually, I wasn't then. I wasn't, my spiritual discernment, my spiritual fortitude, like my relationship with God was not what it was back then, what it is now. But I remember getting a conviction. I was so excited about this opportunity. I was making so much money in entrepreneurship, and doing a lot less work. It was so much money, I didn't know how to step away from my business, to the point where I didn't cook nothing. Baby, it was fast food, because I wasn't trying to miss nothing. But I was working so much. I would go to sleep at 3 a.m., wake right back up at 7 a.m. Why? Because I'm excited about entrepreneurship. I'm excited. I'm like, listen, let's get it. Like, it's time to get it. And then y'all have to understand, I'm on a totally different time zone. So I'm working remotely on a US based company. So 6 a.m. is 3 p.m. here. Okay, I'm 9 hours ahead, depending on which time zone. I'm either 9 or 8 hours ahead. So my schedule, that's why I will be up to 3 o'clock in the morning, because 3 o'clock in the morning is like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. And that's just the way that my schedule is. With that being said, my time was so consumed with the business that I did not have time for God. And I felt the conviction. And I would pray and I would ask God for grace. I'm like, God, like, just give me grace in this season. Like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Teach me how to manage my time better. And I made so much money in the summer. By the time the fall hit, it was like, it went from flourishing to famine real quick. It went from flourishing to famine real quick. And whatever prompt or whatever question that I got from the interviewer when she came to interview me for the speaking gig that I got upcoming, it made me think about that particular, business journey, right? Or that particular business challenge. And what I said was, I said, oh, I remember what she asked me. Tell me about a time that you failed in business. That was the question. And what came out of my mouth, and I'm telling you, this is the Holy Spirit talking through me, because, mind you, I did not prep for the questions. So, I would have thought of something else. Had it was me speaking, I would have, concoct a different type of failure. But before I can even think of the answer, I was already beginning to talk. And so I said, a time that I failed in business, I was scaling my logistics company. I was making a lot of money. I had made so much money in the spring, so much money in the summer. By the time the fall happened, everything had dried up. And now I have all these contractors, all these employees under me. And right, like, these people, I'm talking to them every single day. Good morning, such and such. Good morning, such and such. You ready to do your loads, right? So I've built a relationship between me, my employees, and my contractors, right? And with what we were hauling, I knew that things would slow up, right? But I didn't think that things would come to a screeching halt. And so I'm explaining to her so she can kind of get a little context. And I'm explaining to you as well so you can get context as well. But what I said was, I felt so responsible for the lives of my contractors and my employers, because everything had dried up and there was nothing that I could do about it. I said, but the failure for me wasn't that I had lost the income. Yes, I felt bad that the employers and the contractors had lost their income. And I think I gave myself a little bit too much power. Now that I'm speaking this out loud, I realize I gave myself too much power as well. Like, it just doesn't feel good when you have to let go of employees because you don't no longer have any work. Let's just say that. But I'm not the one who gives the ability to provide well. The Lord does. So that's just another point, a little small caveat. I know that I am digressing a little bit. It's not a job that gives you the ability to produce wealth. It's not an employer that gives you the ability to produce wealth. It's not a freelance opportunity that gives you, it's not a business owner that gives you the opportunity. No, it is the Lord. The Lord gives you the opportunity to produce wealth. But nonetheless, I told her that the biggest failure wasn't the fact that I lost the stream of income. The biggest failure was that I lost God while chasing a stream of income, while chasing the monetary goals. I said, sometimes the business will take you from God, and sometimes God will take you from that business. And in that business, both of those things were true for me. I kept praying, I was asking for grace, but God said that He is a jealous God. He is a jealous God. Put nothing before me. When you look in the Bible, especially Old Testament, a lot of y'all love the New Testament. I love it too. But I love the Old Testament as well. Like, I love the Old Testament as well. If you see how much God don't play about idolatry, the thing that you idolize, He will remove it from you. Your purpose on earth is to glorify His name. Your purpose on earth is to disciple. If you are a believer, as I'm a believer, right? Your purpose on earth is, to disciple others. And we're supposed to give people the gospel. We're also called to be the light in dark. Our purpose is also to be the salt, to hold back decay on the land, right? That's what it means to be the salt in biblical terms. And so your purpose is to come here and glorify his name. Everything is for his glory. Now, the manner in which you do that, that is your assignment. So your purpose will evolve. Not necessarily your purpose will evolve, but it will look different according to your assignment. But all roads leads back to glorifying his name. And so when God says that he's a jealous God and you idolize something above him, he gave you an assignment, right? And for you to put that assignment on a pedestal, for you to put that assignment before God, you have just taken the foundation right from up under your business. And he is a jealous God. So that was my extra bonus point today. And yeah, just don't make a business an idol. When I look at my numbers, I'm glad for the ability to produce wealth. But in reality, it's not a lot of money. Imagine losing your relationship with God for $127,000. You know what I mean? Imagine losing your relationship with God for $1.2 million. The Bible tells us not to store up our treasures on earth where vermin can destroy and thieves break in. I know I'm paraphrasing that. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and do all the YouTube things. Pray that y'all got something valuable from this video. Remember, you can do anything, just not everything. Only start a business that you are passionate about, that you know, that you have a conviction about, that you know is your purpose. I'm telling you, please save yourself a headache. Consult God before you start anything. Consult God in everything. In everything, literally everything. Don't make a business an idol. At the end of the day, it's God who gives us the ability to produce wealth. Yeah, you see people who are producing, well, I won't say wealth, they're making money, right? Yeah, you see people that are making money through evil means, but all of it runs out. We see a lot of things that's going on in the world, and the roosters are coming back to roost. The crows are coming back. Y'all, I don't even know the saying. The roosters are coming back to. You see people who lose themselves because of money. But yeah, y'all, I know I went all over the place in this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure that you hit the like button, like, comment, subscribe, do all of the YouTube things. And until next time, I'm wishing you peace, purpose, and prosperity.